behalf of the Department of Economics, University of Mumbai, and the National Institute of Securities Markets, let me extend a warm welcome to all of you to this first Quantaminar 2016. We'll have many more of these events. The reason we are having this Quantaminar is to get like-minded individuals, like-minded professionals together and understand the challenges that quantitative analytics faces, the field of quantitative analytics faces today, and in particular understand the way academic institutions like the Department of Economics and the National Institute of Securities Markets should respond to the challenges in order to create professionals who can take this field ahead. Now, succinctly, let me sort of elaborate on the kind of challenges that the field of quantitative analytics faces today, and let me also tell you how the two institutions, the Department of Economics and NISM, have tried to put together course materials and academic programs to respond to this, to the emerging challenges. I think one of the biggest things that has happened to the field of quantitative analytics is, of course, the existence of huge, very large, unstructured kind of data sets, which have changed the field of quantitative analytics dramatically. And we have responded to that challenge by creating courses where we have students who can deal with handling those kinds of masses of data. Our courses include training in methodologies like Hadoop and the necessary computer science technologies, etc. But there is an additional challenge. It's simply not enough to infer patterns from large data. There is this whole field of validating those patterns by doing good statistics with them. I think typically the kind of professional that one has in quantitative analytics today is a computer scientist who understands how to classify data, but probably the skills of modeling the data in terms of estimating parameters, understanding their properties, building confidence intervals, and so on, is a skill that still needs to be developed in the larger professional sense. The third important aspect of the challenge that we face today is the patterns that we observe in our large data sets are typically generated by people who are doing various things. They're generated by activities of individuals. And therefore, it's also important to be able to understand the kind of activities that people do which generate the data that we see. And therefore, it's also important, it's vital for a quantitative analytics to also have some sense of the broader behavioral aspects of the individuals who generate that kind of data. So we thought that why not create academic programs which will sort of put all these three skills together. One is the skill to put together, understand, analyze, classify very large data sets. Okay, the whole idea of big data kind of analytics. Combine it with skills in estimating, in statistical modeling. So let's teach people, let's teach good statistical theory. Let's give our the quant analysts a very good understanding of the behavior of data, modeling data, estimating parameters, estimating their properties, building confidence intervals, and so on. So we actually have not only a classification of data, but a good understanding of the underlying statistical properties which is generating that kind of a data, so that we can have models which are robust. And finally, the need of the day, as I said, was also training our individuals into some basic understanding of economic theory, some basic understanding of behavioral sciences, in order to help them conceptualize the things that they see. Why am I seeing these kinds of patterns? What do those patterns mean? What is an underlying hypothesis? Ultimately, you really cannot do any serious quantitative analytics without having an appropriate theoretical hypothesis behind, right? Because, sometimes I see the way regressions are run in the general analytic sense, and I'm sometimes appalled by the way, regressions are run. I know for certain, for example, if I have a misspecified regression equation, if I've omitted important variables, or if my variables are measured with data, if my regression equations are not complete, I don't get parameters which are unbiased. I might be completely off the mark, So I need to have hypothesis. I need to have some theory. I need to have broad understanding of what is it that I'm trying to model. And it's building those skills, which has been the hallmark of the kind of courses that we have been running over the last 1 year or so. So what are the courses that we run? One is, of course, the diploma in data analytics, which is a weekend course, which we run every Sunday for 8 hours. It's a 400 hours course where we train students in all the 3 different aspects that I spoke about. The other course that we've been running together is the course on postgraduate diploma in quantitative finance, which is a full-time course, which is a course of a year-long duration. The first batches are now ready, and I'm very confident that they have, the kind of skills that they have now been imbibed with, set them apart. And I'm very happy to see that we are actually already seeing results. I've some students of our data sciences course have actually formed limited liability partnership companies, and to take to do analytics. So we are really creating those kinds of professionals who are in a sense set apart from the rest of the market, because they're well-rounded, they're complete in all the as data scientists, as social scientists, as statisticians. It's that kind of a complete combination which we are succeeding in creating. So the idea of course, the whole idea of this Quantaminar is to create a partnership, because in a sense what we are doing is we are pushing the envelope. We are really understanding, the idea is not really to focus in a very narrow quantitative analytics finance, but to use this whole area of modeling, understanding procedures. Okay, it's a whole knowledge paradigm. And in a sense, we are pushing the boundaries of that kind of a knowledge paradigm by creating a combination of these 3 different types of skills, which are useful in a very, very large area, across the spectrum of activities. And therefore, the idea of this kind of a Quantaminar was to actually build partnerships with the professionals, with the rest of the world, with the professionals, in order to sort of take this project ahead of pushing the envelope, in a sense, pushing the knowledge envelope, right? So, and therefore, I'm really grateful to all of you for attending this seminar. We'll look forward to your views on this and how we can actually take this whole project ahead.